viewers, and whoever else may be viewing. I'm your host and commissioner, Tom Anderson. I'd like to take a moment to recognize a significant loss in our Auburn community as Officer Tarantino was slain this past Sunday morning at a routine traffic stop. We mourn this loss as an Auburn community, and it hits home to our league as it was one small street away from our fields. We will do whatever it takes to help his family grieve, and we're planning a potential event to benefit his family. There's more details to come. But alright guys, we're 4 games in this season, and it's in full swing. My star performance award from this past week has to go to Biscuits rookie Brett Willand. The kid went off 13 RBIs in his PWL debut, and he certainly was a key reason why the Biscuits went 2-0 this past weekend. But anyways, that's it for me for now. I'm going to head over to my colleagues Eric and Brian for Across the League. Guys?
Thank you, Tom, and hello, PWL Universe. I'm joined by my new co-host, Brian Quidadamo.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me.
So we're 4 games into the season. What's your biggest surprise so far?
The Lemurs. The Lemurs are the hottest team in the league right now. We all doubted them, myself included. And you know what? These old dogs still got a couple of tricks up their sleeve because they are on fire right now. Tom is cruising on the mound right now, looking like he's going to win the Cy Young Award. And not too far behind, Fitzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, very dominant 1-2 combo. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if anyone can catch up to them because you guys are really rolling right now. It's actually quite intimidating.
Yeah, 5th of the way through the season. It's still a long way to go, but I like the way we started out. My biggest surprise so far is the Biscuits at 2-2. I honestly didn't see that coming. They went 2-0 last weekend. They mercied the Llamas, and they ended up mercying the Larrys, which I was surprised at. But Nathan got a win on the mound for the first time in, I think it's been 2 years. But the Biscuits are right there in the middle of everybody else. I mean, the records right now, Lima's are 4-0, and we have 4 teams at 2-2, and then the lowly Llamas are 0-4. So it really is anybody's game right now.
Yep. What's
your biggest disappointment so far?
You know, I'm not too happy with. I thought the Larrys, we were going to come out a little hotter. We got a lot of baseball kids, but I think we're going to start to turn around. You know, we got to hit more. We got to find a couple more arms. I've told them this, and I think we really need to. You know, I like how we're all 2-2 right now, but I think we need to move up in the list. And I think the Warriors, I think right now they're kind of in the middle right there, but I think if there's one team that should be able to run with the Lemurs, it should be them, but they've had their difficulties, as we saw this past weekend. But, it's going to be interesting. Like you said, we're only a 5th of the way there. And can't wait to see, what's coming up for the next couple of weeks.
No, I definitely agree with you with the Warriors. Their biggest thing is whether or not they can get everybody there. I mean, if Dylan's only going to show up for 1 game a week, I mean, they're kind of screwed if Walton's not going to be able to pitch.
Right.
But my biggest disappointment is the Larrys right now. I thought you guys were going to be right there, right in the top of the pack. Right now, you're just in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really surprised at all the hitting. You guys, lowest scoring team in the league, which I'm surprised at. And then the pitching, you've been the only bright spot so far, so you guys are still trying to find who your number 2 is.
Yeah, I think it was kind of, it was a tough spot to put Pat Miller in first game, opening day. It was very windy that day.
Yeah, it was.
We're going to throw him this weekend. I have faith in him. I think he's going to have a good outing, or at least try to find it. And then, Mike Fazio, he's a Division II college pitcher, so, as soon as I can get him on the mound, we should be good. And then Pete Quidadamo, hopefully he has his on and off days. He broke his wrist, so some days the wrist moves, some days it doesn't. So it's hot and cold with him, but we really just need to find our bats. That's our biggest thing. We can't win games if we don't score runs, as we saw against the game against the Llamas, where I think I only had like 4 hits let up, but we were losing the game because we couldn't get any runs. And I think that's our biggest thing was produce runs, and that really is what wins games.
It really is. But I think you guys will come together. Like I said, it's only a 5th of the way through the season. I really think the Larrys will end up being the 3rd seed.
I hope so.
But right now, Lima's 4-0. You had already hit on the points that the old dog's still got some good tricks up their sleeve. So I really didn't see this coming. I mean, I thought we were going to have some issues in the pitching department, but Tom's pitching like he did 2 years ago, and Fitzy so far has been great.
Yeah,
And our bats were the highest scoring offense in the league right now.
that didn't surprise me, actually. I knew you guys had, your core three between you, Fitzy, and Tom, very dominant, not only on the mound, but also at bat. And I knew you guys, that was going to be your strong point. And however, I did not expect to see Tom and Fitzy, basically 1-2 pitchers right now on the mound. And I think that's really what's leading you guys right now as 4-0.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. And that game against Dillon last week, 5-1. I mean, Tom single-handedly won that game. So we're a pretty darn good team, and I hope it stays like that. But the Rhinos right now, they're 2-2. They have a pretty solid team. Like when they have everybody there, their core is Zach, Connor, and Nova.
Right.
But then they have Coughlin and Keogh, and then Keyshawn. I mean,
right.
They all fit together. They've all
Yeah.
played together for years. I think the Rhinos would be right there in the top of the league.
I think, the Rhinos are probably most dangerous to make a big run, and I think they're probably the most dangerous to, knock you guys off the number one spot, because especially adding all the weapons they have. They have Nova on the mound, they have Scully on the mound, they have Randall on the mound, who's, I don't know.
He's definitely ace material.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what he did in the offseason, but his velocity is up. I noticed the first time I went at bat against him, he's throwing a lot harder this year. And, he's looking really good on the mound. And then they also have Gannon, too. So they have four.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, 4 pretty good pitchers that will basically get them through their two games a week, every single week.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as, Scully shows up, I think that's the one reason why we were able to sneak a win past the Rhinos, is because they didn't have Randall. They had Randall pitch in 1 1/3, maybe 2 innings against us. Then Gannon came in. They didn't have Scully. So I think that's also what kind of pushed us to get the win against them. But they're a very dangerous team. I think the Rhinos are a team to look out for coming in, moving on in the season here.
No, I definitely agree with you. I mean, the biggest thing for the Rhinos is their lineup with Coughlin and Keogh. I mean, no offense to those guys, but they're kind of weaker bats in the league.
Yeah.
Although, shout out to Nick Keogh for his first career home run.
That was a ball.
That was a ball.
That was a moonshot. I stopped what I was doing and took a look over at that.
But the Warriors 2-2. They started the season 2-0 for I think the second or third year in a row, and then they always seem to go 2-2. I mean, I don't know what it is with them. They have everything they could ask for a team. It's just getting them all to show up.
Yeah, exactly. And, is Mike Benoit on their team?
He is, but yeah.
I have not seen him yet, and
sure.
that's what I'm not sure if it's. I haven't been able to watch a Warriors game yet, but I'm not sure if it's their pitch. I mean, I don't think it's their pitching. It's got to be their bats. Even though Weldon's hitting real well right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be their bats. Benoit's pretty good behind the plate, so I think if they get him there, Ramos there consistently.
Mm-hmm.
They'll also be in pretty good shape. I think they're kind of like the Rhinos, where they have the core, they have the roster. They have the people to make a run at the championship. It's just not
not
completely clicking right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the biggest question mark for them, I think, is their pitching. I mean, I think Lear went into this season thinking he had the best 1-2 punch in the league. I mean, obviously Dillon's been an ace for years.
You're right.
And Weldon, Cy Young last year.
Exactly.
He doesn't have his form this year. I don't know if he's battling injury or just focusing more on batting, but it's definitely, if he's not going to be able to pitch, it's definitely going to hurt them if Lear's going to have to be the number 2, because he wasn't planning on it.
Right, and especially if they don't have Ramos, consistently either. I would say Dillon's number 1, Ramos is number 2, with Lear close behind as a third. And if they don't have Ramos consistently, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble their second game.
No, I definitely agree. But the Biscuits, 2-2. I didn't really see this coming. Nathan looked good on the mound.
He did, yeah.
And then Matt Russell. I knew he was going to be good this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the first game of the season, it was windy as hell.
Yeah,
Everybody was bad. But he really was lights out in the second week of the season. He only gave up 3 hits, and they mercied the longest pretty easily.
Wow. Yeah, the Biscuits, they got a lot of, basically their rookies are working pretty hard right now. I mean, I wasn't able to see that first game against the Llamas, but, even Brett, he's been raking it. He's been, every time he's just been hitting line drives right through the middle.
Yeah, he has to be the favorite for Rookie of the Year right now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just one weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
if he's going to hit like that, then I don't think there's any question who's going to be Rookie of the Year.
Right. I'd be interested to see how he is on the mound, or if he's going to get a spot. But I mean, I haven't really seen Colin I don't think he was there this past week. He might have baseball or something. But I think Russell on the mound. Then they have Fahey to come in. Their biggest thing is they just need to keep their pitchers healthy. If Russell can stay healthy, that'll be fine. They can do Russell, Nate, Fahey.
Even if Fahey and Nate gonna pitch the
Right,
same
they
game,
can
3
switch.
innings
Right,
apiece.
exactly. They should be all right, and they're hitting the ball pretty well. Nate's pretty solid, Brett's pretty solid, and then I wasn't really able to see the rest of the team wasn't there when we played them, but I mean they're definitely going to be a team that's going to creep up on us too.
I definitely agree with you. Their offense is definitely there. The biggest question mark is the pitching. But Fahey spent 667 early in the season. He already has 5 homers, which is in the top 3 in the league. So if he keeps on producing, I mean Nate has him in the bottom of the order too. So he's
Right.
just feasting on the weaker pitching and driving in all the RBIs, which is the plan. So.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see if it's going to continue like that. But the Larry's 2-2. We already talked about how kind of disappointing start for them. But I always hear your team say you're a 500 team. Do you agree with that?
No, I hate that. Every time they say that, I get furious at them. Because I hate that mentality. I think we should go, try to win as many games as possible. Especially this past weekend, I was not too pleased with the fact that we were just basically going to make playoffs, be a 500 team. I think we can compete with the top of the league, and I think that's how we should. Basically, that's how our mentality should be every game. So I've expressed this, and I hope our attitude changes and we work hard to get these wins here, because that's what I'm expecting out of the team.
Yeah, I think you guys will definitely get there. And I can see a record right now, 13-7, 12-8, around there.
Hoping.
Which would be 3 or 4 seed. That would be my guess. But like I said, it's way too early in the season.
Right. Yeah, we need to develop our pitching as well. That's our biggest thing right now, is developing a second arm.
Yeah, he definitely has solid stuff. It's just whether or not he can get through an entire game.
Right, exactly. He pitched real well against the Rhinos first weekend, opening day. He only let up 1 run, or something. Yeah, I think only 1 run, and he looked really good throughout the game with the wind. Without the wind, a nice day. Couldn't find the stuff, so we'll hope for windy games. I'll throw him in. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, well, you're definitely the ace of the squad, and so far this season you've been pretty lights out. So I expect you to continue like that to make the Larrys a force.
Thank you.
But the Llamas 0-4. They got mercy 3 out of 4 games, but they were very competitive with the Larrys. I mean, Ryan Jeffries, that was his first game to show up last week, so I think they can be competitive if Jeffries shows up all the time.
Yeah, I think Jeffries is definitely their white light of hope, because he looked pretty good on the mound. I mean, we had trouble hitting him. We've had trouble hitting everyone, but we had trouble hitting him too. So I think that's going to really play into developing a pitcher for them, because who else do they have besides? They have no one really. They have Cook throwing.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that having him on the team, just developing, having one player that can pitch consistently, and someone that can throw against teams like the Lemurs, the Rhinos, the Warriors. So then they can throw, bottom of the line, or throw someone else just to kind of manage the damage as much as possible. But I don't think the Llamas are going to go 0-4. I think they'll be able to sneak a couple wins in there. But it's going to be a rough season if they don't start to make some moves up. Actually, I think a lot of teams need to trade to help
There's definitely
improve their
holes
teams
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Llamas, I mean, they were in that game against the Larrys, and that was without Cook, who is probably the best player on the squad. But they had Jack finally show up, and then him and Parker. I mean, they have a pretty committed team, so that'll definitely help them in the long run.
Right. I think soccer is really going to hurt a lot of people. I mean, because you had Cook gone, you had Parker gone.
Yeah, even Russell was gone
Russell
for the
gone.
second game for the Biscuits. So
I think that's going to hurt people along the season. I think if we're, I think the Biscuits, if they're looking at pitching, I think they gotta move one of their rookies, maybe Colin or CJ, someone like that. Try to pick up someone like Gannon, Ramos, just another strong arm.
yeah, there's definitely veterans, and then I'm sure will definitely be on the block coming to the trade deadline.
Yeah, but I think right now people just want to play it out and see how their teams are going to be.
Definitely. But there's a couple of good games on the docket for this weekend, but my game of the week is probably going to be the primetime game, the Warriors and Larrys. That's definitely going to show which team's going to be in the top 3 of the league, which is probably going to be the bottom 3 of the league. But I'm really interested to see how that one's going to play out.
Yeah, we're excited for it. You know, we've been hearing the Warriors chirping all to everyone really.
What else?
You know, so we feel like we've got a lot of directed, you know, comments. So we're excited for this game. You know, we're just we're not going to play as a 500 team this game. So hopefully we'll do something against the Rhinos and then try to work our magic against the Warriors here, because it's really going to come down to pitching. For this game, who's going to be able to pitch first game, who's going to be able to pitch second game. But we're excited for it. I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Definitely. But yeah, I fully expect the Larrys to go 2-0 this weekend.
I hope so. I'm hoping we can start to bring it around. It's really our bats just need to get used to the difference in wiffle balls, the difference in pitching. Everyone's kind of used to baseball, straight fastballs and whatnot. I think, you know, if we face a straight fastball pitcher, that's where we're going to be able to do well. So I'm hoping we'll see how this weekend goes, see who we face, and see how we can produce these runs, because that's our biggest problem right now.
You guys definitely have all the tools to do it. You just got to figure out how they all work together. I'm very interested to see how that will turn out. But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have today. And I just want to I have a couple of shout outs. One of them is to Tom for taking over the home run league career, and he also is the first person in the 400 strikeout club. He's also the second person to have 300 RBIs career, and he's 1 hit away from 300 career hits. And my other shout out is to Adam Weldon, who's the second career person to have 300 hits, and he's only 4 Ks away from the 400K club. So I fully expect him to get both of those records this weekend. But that's all the time we have, so have a good day.
Back to you.
Hello, folks, and thank you all for watching this week's episode of Weekly Wiffs. As I said earlier, I'm your host, Commissioner Tom Anderson, and I hope you enjoyed the show. This Sunday, here's what the schedule is looking like. At 11:45, we got Biscuits at Rhinos and Lemurs at Llamas. 12:45, Larry's at Rhinos, Llamas at Warriors. 1:30ish, we have the Biscuits at Lemurs, and then prime time, around 2 p.m., we have the Warriors at the Larrys, which could be the biggest game of the day. That game will really decide who's going to be in the top half, who's going to be in the bottom half, and which team's legit, which team's for real, and which team's the pretender. I mean, both of those teams may still make playoffs either way. I mean, it's still very early on in the season, but that game definitely has a huge meaning behind it, and it'll say a lot. It should be certainly fun to watch prime time. But anyways, I'm your host, Commissioner, signing off. I'm Tom Anderson. Have a great day.